For this week's Smith Business Close-Up, we are on location at the University of Maryland, joined by Professor Sunil Mithas, who is a professor of information systems at the University of Maryland's Robert H. Smith School of Business. Also the author of this new book, Dancing Elephants and Leaping Jaguars. Professor, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much.
Tell us about the book.
Yeah, this is actually a book which documents what happened at the Tata Group in the last 20-25 years. So in 1994, Tata Group committed itself to adopting something called Tata Business Excellence Model, which is actually a variant of what is known as Malcolm Baldrig's criteria of performance excellence, which was actually developed by National Institute of Standards and Technologies, not very far away from here. So Tata's committed themselves to using this criteria and using it in all their business processes across their company. So this is currently a group which is about $103 billion, and they are in more than 80 countries, around 600,000 employees. But when they started, and if I can take you back to let's say 1992 or so, it used to be a company which was only $6 billion in revenues. So the central point that the book makes is that how this company, this Tata Group, has made use of this criteria for transforming itself completely in a period of 20 to 25 years. So I think the book is really about transforming incumbents, and there are so many of them, millions of them around the world, and how to transform themselves.
How did Tata Group get started? What was the core business?
Tata Group actually is this was started long back, so 1868 let's say. So it was started in pre-independence era, when British people were ruling in India. It started in Mumbai, and the founder actually had a great vision. So he really wanted to do something in India, even when it was being ruled by British people. And he had the idea that let us create some steel industry in India, let us create a power industry in India, and let us also create a hospitality industry in India. And he actually set the foundation for doing those kinds of things, and his successors, his sons, and later on people who became the chairman of the Tata Group, they carried on the legacy.
And there still is a Mr. Tata.
So Tata family currently I think controls very little of the Tata Group, maybe just 3% or so. Okay. And most of the stocks are held by the trusts. So this is actually a very interesting question that you're asking. So the way Tata Group is organized is very interesting. 66%, so the main promoter company is Tata Sons Limited, which is a private company and which is not listed on the stock markets at all. But 66% of its equity is held by charitable trusts. So they have a big belief in that whatever we do for business, ultimately it should go back to the society. So ultimately the money goes back to the society in a way.
So what are the big lessons? What has this group done to grow so big and last for such a long period of time, and maybe what's applicable to other companies?
That is a great question, Jeff. So I think one of the key things that one can take away from the Tata Group with a history of more than 140 years is this idea that the businesses exist for the society, and this really long-term orientation. So we are not in this for the next quarter, we are not in this for the next year or next 2 years. So when Tata Group, I have talked to the executives there, when they think about their businesses, they are thinking about what we are going to be doing in the next decade, and we would like to exist actually for next 100 years, and how we can serve society through our various businesses. So these people are in the steel sector, they are in the power sector, chemical sector, hospitality, information technology. The big lesson is, how it is possible. So Tata Group actually demonstrates that it is possible to have a long-term orientation and at the same time be a very profitable company, and at the same time be able to grow very successfully. So let me just give you some comparisons. In the 1991 or so, General Electric and Siemens, they were also about $50 billion businesses. And as I told you earlier, Tata Group was only around $6 billion. And this company, because of its commitment to business excellence, and I think this is where I want to really bring in this idea of Tata Business Excellence Model, which actually asks companies to focus on the long run. And I think many people have made this point earlier also, that for some reason many companies around the world have become very much short-term focused. They look at their quarterly performance, and that is not the case.
That's what the stock market is looking at.
That is correct. And I think here this is a counterintuitive, let's say, case where they are basically saying that you can also do very well by the stock market if you focus on the long run. And this company demonstrates that you can use a criteria like Baldrig's criteria for performance excellence, which this company has done across large number of its companies, and they have been extremely successful in growing their revenues, at the same time having handsome profits.
The book is Dancing Elephants and Leaping Jaguars. Professor Mithas, thank you for being with us.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Thanks.